listed Overdose because that was the one I played the most. There's a couple reasons why I haven't put out an overview for this yet. First reason, the game is really long. They really jam-packed this full of content. And also, this game gives me a cramp, so I kind of have to watch it. When my cramp goes away, I'll probably be able to finish this, but it definitely hurts to play a little bit. So until my cramp subsides, I probably will have to play other games for a little while. I still got Sonic Frontiers to finish, some other stuff to work on before River City Girls 2 comes out. I think this game is actually pretty solid. I think people went into it expecting it to be this legendary thing, and it's not. It's very much a PS2 game, but in a good way, meaning that you actually play the game. There's not like 300 hours of cutscenes and stuff like that. It's pretty much all just playing as usual, no BS. There actually are a lot of mechanics in this game, and the gameplay is actually quite a bit like the two new Doom games, where you have to use pretty much all the resources at your disposal to be successful. So, if you like Doom Eternal, I've never really played that game for more than a few minutes myself, but I think you probably would actually like this game. It's actually quite solid. Alright. So I got some errands to do soon, so let's get through this fast. There's barely any cutscenes in this game. Okay, so first thing I should mention, before I say anything else, when you push the trigger once, he will shoot 4 times, so you don't have to mash that much. So in this game you have a shield. The shield allows you to withstand hits, pretty much like any other game with the shield, but what regenerates it is either doing this QTE or not being hit for a while, and there's lots of different ways you can do that. So your combo meter, if you've played Streets of Rage 4, it's very similar. You're not really punching things, but the motive of using it is similar. You need it to both get a high rank and to use your Storm Barrage. Storm Barrage activates at 50 hits, so right here I should be getting about 50 hits. So it's your standard gun kata badass move. So you're a sitting duck while you do this, but it does do a lot of hits, and it does a lot of damage as well, so you can generally chain into your QTE finishers there. Unfortunately, I think this game's ranking system has the same flaw of Streets of Rage 4, where you have to play, like, perfectly to get a good rank, and it gets really annoying after a while. I don't think the rank matters that much. This is one of those games I just don't care. I also have melee attacks. So you generally don't want to use your demolition shots until you absolutely need to, because they will heal your health. They're the only way to heal health. It's pretty much just like Gungrave Overdose. And sometimes you'll want to use them just because your shield's going to break anyway, so sometimes you'll want to use them. But other times you might want to use them when you know that, like, your shield is inevitably going to break. That way, by the time it breaks, you've already got all your health back, and you'll have a little bit of time to get your shield back as well. And that might be enough to actually get through an encounter. So just like Streets of Rage 4, you shoot random junk around just to keep your combo meter up. But this game's ranking system is even more strict than Streets 4. You have to play, like, perfectly. I think they could do with making it a little less strict. It's like, hey, you know how to play the game, but, you don't want to mauled and get frustrated because, some guy hit you and you lost your combo. So you also have a Devil Bringer in this game. You can use it as a human shield. The human shield mechanic is actually really nice to use. because generally you can hold the guy for long enough to get your shield to start regenerating. Right, shield's broken. Good example there. Use that to get, use that Q to E to get more shield back, and repeat. The arrow can be a little bit misleading sometimes, and it'll tell you can go in the next area, but you can't until everyone's dead. Shield's broken, so let's pop that. All that health back. Another thing about the combo system in this game is you can get passive stat bonuses, which I'll talk about later. And those will basically make it so you can get less hits. So it's not very well thought out, but I don't think this game is hard enough as it is, even on normal difficulty, so I don't think anybody will really care about getting score in this. I think there's better games and genres to do that in, just like Streets of Rage 4. That game is great, but if you start trying to score in it, it gets really frustrating fast. Alright, so we're gonna pop a demolition shot here. Those little turret guys are very dangerous. Storm Barrage, as soon as I get it, so I can get some health back. Don't know why it takes so long to skip the cutscenes. Like, by the time you skip it, the cutscene's almost over. At least for like the mid battle ones. Some of the ones before the levels are pretty long because the characters that can actually talk will be explaining things for you. Since obviously, Grave was a literal zombie. If you don't know the lore of Gungrave, he's basically like a former mafia guy that got turned into a zombie. Which is great for video game purposes because he doesn't talk and have long monologues and there's no forced walking sections, so this game is art as far as I'm concerned. He's no Kratos. Like the opposite. Alright, so this is gonna be a pretty heavy room here. Got some meter back. So you can see this does kind of play like Doom Eternal, where maybe it seems simple at a glance, but you actually really have to manage a lot of things and manage your resources. It's not just pushing the button to shoot. Anybody who says that is lying. I'm not playing too well right now. I actually recorded this last night, but I was in the wrong source, so it was a black screen. I had to do this again. Alright, well there's a full level of Gungrave G.O.R.E. Wonder if you get a higher rank for doing that. You get like a good 10% back for using a level 1 demolition shot. Like, all that was a B. I think that was pretty damn good if you ask me, but the game does not agree. So, I wouldn't care about the ranks in this personally. You can go back and replay previous levels if you want to level up and get a little bit more of an advantage. So, I don't think the rank really matters too much. It doesn't seem like it gives you too many more for getting a high rank. And by the time that you got one, you could probably max out most things anyway. So much like DMC, this game actually has pretty significant upgrade tree. There's moves in here. Your coffin's not too hot until you get a bunch of moves, but the thing about this game is you really want to get stats first. Stats make a huge difference. I honestly think that they should have like truncated this a little bit, because I think trying to get the demolition shots and stuff is kind of a trap. You probably want these more often. Like, I got bullet damage and the game's been a little bit smoother just by itself, whereas if I hadn't gotten this, then it probably would have been a lot harder. Alright. And I think I'm pretty good now, so let's see what's in here. Alright, I love me some gun kata, so we'll get that. That'll probably be good for hit count and stuff. Drop kick looks pretty sick. Some of these actually look pretty useless, so I don't know how much that's going to do. Maybe if it gives you invincibility frames, it might be nice, but it's kind of hard to tell from what they show you there. Grave is kind of deceptive. He's supposed to be like a lumbering zombie, but when he wants to, he can be pretty damn fast. Alright, well that's your quick overview. I think this game is pretty fun. I do think there's a lot of balancing issues with it, but seems like you can kind of override a lot of it just by grinding. If it didn't cramp my hand so much, I would play it more, but right now I'm kind of limited by that. I got to go get some bananas and drink a lot of water, and when my cramp subsides, we will play more of this, but for now I kind of got to watch it, so apologies in advance for that. Hopefully I can finish it before River City Girls 2 comes out, which I already paid for, but I've had a lot of people asking about this game, and I thought I owed it to you guys to get a little quick, I guess you call it a mini overview, out before I actually finish the game and get my full thoughts and everything. But that's the basics of the mechanics. I think the game is quite fun. If you miss the PS2 era of video games where there wasn't so much talking and padding and big open worlds and useless trinkets to collect, I think you will actually like this game, especially if you actually have played the previous 2 games. This game really builds upon those things quite well. The balancing is maybe not as good as those games, but I think that maybe they will fix that with patches down the line. The PC port, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't really touch the settings. It's been running like above 100 FPS like pretty much the whole time. It does have shader compilation issues because it's an Unreal Engine 4 game, so usual stuff there. You could try running it in DX11 mode, or just playing through a level and using all your new moves so that the game will compile the shaders, and then you can go from there and try to fix it. But I think this game is pretty solid. I'll definitely play more of it when I'm physically able to. Thanks for watching.